Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're answering those questions on the new Epic. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. 10 things you need to know about Warhammer the Horus Heresy Legions Imperialis. For the most titanic, table-shaking battles you'll see from the Age of Darkness, nothing beats Warhammer the Horus Heresy Legions Imperialis. This exhilarating game of enormous, world-ending battles zooms right out to give you a command-level view of the battlefield. With entire companies of infantry scurrying about as armored squadrons tear across blasted terrain, and looming titans vaporize entire columns of tanks. There's a lot to take in from the release of an entirely new game, so rules writer Tom is on hand to lay out 10 most important things you'll need to know, from army construction to size of the miniatures. So very cool, going to answer a lot of those questions for us today. An Age of Darkness. Legions Imperialis is set during the Horus Heresy. The grand warfare is bread and butter. Those vast battles you read about? Now you can recreate them in spectacular glory, fielding entire companies of your favorite Space Marine Legion at once as you battle for the future of humanity. Epic Scale. Legion Imperialis is epic scale, the same as Adeptus Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis. Combine your models into a grand host, supplementing your Legion Astartes or Solar Auxilia with the god engines of the Mechanicum and more, all the better to lay waste to your foes. General's Eye View. On the battlefield, detachments equivalent to the individual units in other wargames operate according to orders assigned to them each round. Orders are initially hidden when issued, meaning you'll have to predict your opponent's plan and devise your own strategy to counter. Non-stop action. The activation of detachments alternates, meaning you move or fire a detachment, then your opponent does, and so on. You're always in the thick of battle, adjusting plans as you go to seize advantages that present themselves. Unrelenting War. The battlefields of the 31st millennia are dangerous places. Titans will annihilate entire squadrons or tanks in a single barrage, only to be felled and turned by strafing aircraft. Games of Legion Imperialis are visceral affairs, where scores of warriors are killed in a single round, so make every moment they are alive count. Conquer the battlefield. In every game of Legions Imperialis, your primary mission is to capture objective markers, with their value determined by the mission being played. Victory points are earned at the end of each round, meaning you can't focus purely on eradicating your foe, or they may just snatch victory from the jaws of an apparent defeat. Combined Arms. Strategic decisions begin before the battle. The army you field is just as important. Infantry are the best for capturing objectives, while vehicles and super heavies are handier and deadlier. Each detachment has its role, and it's up to you to utilize them in the best possible way. A weapon for every situation. Just as each detachment has a role, so too do the weapons they are armed with. Assault cannons mow down infantry, but can't scratch a titan, while las cannons are the best used against vehicles. In Legion Imperialis, you must choose your targets wisely to get the full worth of your arsenals. Flexible army building. Armies in Legion Imperialis revolve around formations. Each formation is essentially an entire Horus Heresy, the Age of Darkness army, giving you lots of freedom in how you build your force. Want a Legion Astartes army mounted entirely in gunships or an aerial assault? You can do that. Solar Auxilia Super Heavy Tank Company? Yep. There's a myriad of options. There are more to come in the future, allowing you to build the grand army of your hobby dreams. Choose your battlefield. Use the battlefield terrain to your advantage. Garrison buildings with infantry, concealed flanking elements behind ruined city sectors, or push your tank squadrons down roads for added speed. A plethora of terrain types have rules, taking you from crumbling hive cities into the jungles, lava fields, and beyond. Oh, and you can blow up buildings with the right weapons or a Titan Fist. So yeah, pretty cool overall. Definitely answered a lot of the questions people have been asking in the comments and answered some of my questions. I do wish they were a little more specific about the size. It's cool that they say it's epic scale and that it is compatible with the Adeptus Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis, but I would imagine there's lots of people that might be interested in this game but don't currently play Warhammer 40,000 or any of the other games. So they might be coming from a completely different game system, and just saying that it's epic scale, I don't think really like conveys the questions that people have. Like, I think they want to know like how many millimeters is the scale or whatever. So I do wish they would have been like more specific for people that are essentially coming from different game systems. Because like I, for instance, do not know what epic scale means. I understand that it's good. It's compatible with their other games. So obviously I would have heard that this is like grand scale of models, or like, you know, everything is smaller and you just bring giant armies of them. But I wouldn't know like how this stacks up against like, you know, the model trains that I'm into or historic war games, etc. So I think they should have went into a little more detail there. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. Alright, so I went ahead and popped over to Games Workshop's website and we're on the Adeptus Titanicus, the Horus Heresy set. And this one is no longer available or actually temporarily out of stock online. But I thought I might be able to get like some details. So these are two of the models that are in the new set. Now they will have slightly different weapons, but those are like the actual models. So we can see they're definitely the same. We can see how small these like weapons are compared to them. But if we scroll down here and look through the details, there's never anything on here that actually talks about the scale. And the only measurements we get are basically them talking about the size of the bases that some of the models are on top of. So if you're familiar with Games Workshop, if you're familiar with these, or, you know, just measure them, you can at least see like how big the bases are for reference, but it doesn't give you any actual like millimeter numbers or anything. All right, so here's the Aeronautica Imperialis, Skies of Fire. So again, compatible with that set. All right, so again, no specific details on like the actual size or anything like that. So I'm really not sure. Maybe they will come out with another article in the future and clarify some of the other questions that we still have. But it is strange that you can't find anything about the actual scale on this. And if you weren't familiar with this game or anything, I guess you could assume that this is like an actual picture and in scale, but very strange. Also, a little bit weird too, is that the Aeronautica Imperialis is compatible with it, but in the Horus Heresy, they don't really have like the Xenos races and stuff. So I'm not sure if their plan is like that just some stuff doesn't work in the game, like the Tau, or if they're going to like completely change the game completely and later on we'll see like some of the Xenos species. Honestly, really not sure. I definitely have more questions now than when we started. So yeah, very strange. Definitely curious about that still. I'm sure you could spend a little time on the internet and figure out exactly what that scale is. But seeing as how this is kind of the purpose of the article and it doesn't really answer the questions, definitely could have been done a little bit better. But anyway, pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to be able to combine these two games into a third game? And probably this will sort of just like consolidate the player base, maybe make it a little more popular, just having everybody play one game instead of like a bunch of smaller games. Pretty cool though, definitely exciting. I know a lot of people are excited for Epic, and I don't blame them. And then obviously I am curious now if they're going to be rolling all the Xenos into this, or if it is just going to be some models that are not compatible with the game. Like for instance, the Tau. So let me know what you think down below. Always like to hear your guys' opinions and feedback. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I've got more questions, but I'm out of here.